My name is Jeffrey Perez. I'm the executive chef of the Fairview Country Club in Greenwich, Connecticut. You know, I sort of fell in and out, then back into the club business. I was a student at the Culinary Institute, and upon graduation, I accepted the job offer of sous chef at a private club here in Greenwich, Connecticut. As we find early in our career, it wasn't at the time the right choice for me, and I went back to the restaurant business, which I grew up in. And then, you know, as you go along, and we all find in our careers, juggling that family time and marriage and kids, if you have them. I don't, but still, it's hard. Our business is very, very hard on chefs. I left the restaurant business, went to the healthcare side of food service. It was a very short stay. It wasn't for me. And the club that originally hired me upon graduation as sous chef was looking for an executive chef. And I had a very good rapport with the general manager, which is very important in our business, those connections. And I went back into the club business, and it was the best decision I ever made. I think myself and the chef at the time didn't have the same vision. It was not only, really, it was mostly, upon graduation, I moved to a new area of the country where I did not grow up. And I got married when I was a student at CIA. I was in pastry class on Friday, went home, got married on Saturday. I was back in pastry class on Monday. No honeymoon. The pastry chef at the time, I won't mention his name, at CIA, was a very hardline Eastern European guy. And that one day I left to get married. I left early on Friday. That was the only absence I had in my 2 years at CIA. So I went to him before graduation because I wanted that perfect attendance star on my diploma. And he said, "Chef Perez, why did you miss class?" I said, "I went home to get married." He said, "That's your problem," and he closed the door in my face. It was very tough. You know, I was in my first big job out of school, required a lot of hours, and I was having a hard time at home. But I eventually came back to that club, in the club business, and it was meant to be. I love this business. Well, one, I happen to think I belong to a very special club. My membership is great. They're, you know, there's always that distinction between staff and member, but I have to say, I'm treated like family. You know, families fight sometimes, and sometimes, you know, you have to hear the hard comments. But you know, I've been taken care of very well, and in return, I work very hard. It's a very rewarding situation. So if you step back and look at the big picture in the hospitality business, especially for a chef, you've got restaurants, you've got healthcare, you've got private chefs, which is a very big thing now in certain areas of the country, being a chef for a high-profile client, or corporate. They have their ups and downs. Restaurants, I think every young culinarian should put in some restaurant, you know, some time to build your cooking rapport, to build your resume. And then I think, you know, moving on to clubs is a great step up in your career. Clubs affords you a stable employment. It affords you time off with your family. Yes, in the summer here in the Northeast, I work a lot of hours, but from October on, I'm home 5 nights a week, and a lot of chefs in our industry cannot say that. And it's extremely important to have that downtime.